Hey, it's Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is Mob. How are you guys? Good morning. I've been busy like there's no tomorrow. Let's see, about half of my tanks. Did water changes this morning. I'll bang out the rest of them maybe this afternoon or maybe tomorrow morning. That's good. Our buddy John, first one in the house. I've got to share out this fine presentation exclusively of Mob Guppy, not to be shared or disseminated without express written uh, approval by Major League Baseball and the Mob Guppy channel. All right. How y'all doing? And it's how we all doing? It's hotter than hell here. My air conditioning in my home is not keeping up. So I just raised it from 70 to 72. Yeah, I'm from Minnesota originally. I like it really cold all the way around. And so there you go. What else is going on, gang? Dog days of summer, keeping you indoors like it's me. I'm so happy that I did not set up into a outdoor tubbing. We have had barely any rain, and now about a month, it's almost 100 degrees every day. Yeah. And sort of our theme here is guppies. What about them? How to care for them? How to breed them? Now they breed easy, but go from there. Jim Walsh, how are you? Vinoxky, Fish Koto, how are y'all doing? Enjoying some fine Dr. Pepper. I mean, literally, Maggie woke me up at 7:15 this morning, and all I've been doing is running until now. I went to the grocery store, had to get new windshield wipers. I mean, my life's pretty mundane. Washed the car. I had to go do something. I have a slab, and all of a sudden, I'm getting more and more trees growing near my near my slab. And all of a sudden, I was like doing yard work this morning, and all of a sudden, noticed, God, this one is really growing fast. I need to take care of it. And I all of a sudden realized it's really, really close to my underground utilities, my electricity that comes to the home. So I went to Home Depot. Found here's who they had to get to help me, the manager. Here's my question: do you have anything that murders trees? I want to murder some trees. What do you got? So they hooked me up. Got some tree murdering stuff. So that's nice. And I'm in. I am in. Let's see what else. What else going on? I don't know. It's been so damn hot. I am so ready just to hide the rest of the day. Doug Gray, the man who has signed on to be Ashley Graham's personal trainer. Peter Theo. Yeah, she needs a personal trainer. So there you go. And we're going to go off, and our first meeting will be at a buffet. If you don't know who Ashley Graham is, she's a very beautiful woman who is, shall we say, softic or pleasantly plump. It's or what other Rubenesque? Those are polite ways of saying, yeah, heavy. I'm fat. She's fat too. And life's good. Yeah, it's been really, really hot. Now it is summer. It gets hot. I just wish it was raining some more. Yeah. No, Doug Gray, you're the only person who goes out of his way to send me Ashley Graham pics. You haven't sent me any pics of Cardi B lately, which is nice. I thank you for that. What else are you guys up to? Um, besides stuff in the fish room. Got a lot of junk done today. I'll try. I may do some more this afternoon. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Having Maggie's doing real well. She wants to play. I poured this incredible poison on the trees, and I think before I let her run in the backyard again, I think I'll pour some water on top of it now that it's been in there for. By the time we're done here, it'll be it'll be a little over an hour. I'll dump some water on it. There you go. Biggie support group. How you doing? What else is going on in your world, gang? Anything exciting? I have good news. I'm single again. You're excellent. Glad you are, Biggies. Cataract surgery for you next month. Can't drive until then. Yep. I've got a cataract in one of my eyes. It's not at the point where it's getting in the way. They says, it's a baby cataract. I'm sure I'll have to get that at some point. So the gal I'd been seeing for a few months, say la vie, out of here. Bye-bye. Life's good. I'm pretty happy with myself. And, it was a nice relationship. It's my first relationship following the divorce, so it's good. Hey, CB's in the house. What's up, Joe? Petroman 1185. Life's good all the way around. Oh, you're at 2060 and 2040 is the limit to drive here? Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was one of the times I had to renew my driver's license. I never have to renew it usually. I'm usually moving to a new place. I'm in there, and there's this sweet little old lady who somebody should have taken her driver's license away from her. The DMV lady couldn't give her simple instructions without her not knowing what to do. It was not good. But they renewed her driver's license and she got on the road. Yeah, they should have taken it away. Yeah, at some point you have to stop driving. And I had to take away my dad's driving privileges. Now, a couple of days ago was the 4th anniversary of my dad's passing. Miss him terribly. He was a very good man. Very, very lucky to have a father like him. That being said, I was with my dad at the doctor's office, and the doctor said, "Yeah, it's time, Scott, for you to stop driving and let your son drive you around." And my dad goes, "Have you ever ridden with him? He drives like hell." I almost said, "I learned all my driving from you, Dad." But at a rare moment of patience and concern, there you go. Yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun taking away your dad's or grandparents' driver's license. Not good. My grandfather drove to the end. He was 88. But we would make him drive and sit in the car with him, and he was fine. My grandmother had driven very little after retirement. Okay, she hadn't driven regularly in like 35 years when my grandfather passed. mysteriously, one of my aunts, I have an aunt that's sort of like this woman's like 89 now and is like take charge of everything. She stole the keys to the car. My grandmother was saying, "Well, I can drive and go do that. I just can't find the keys." Oh, really? And yeah, they stole the keys. That's what you do with old people. You'd steal the keys. So it, yeah, not good. So let's see what else is going on with the fish. Just been busy. They're looking good. I did 50% water changes this morning in all my 10s. On my 60-gallon tank, I did probably about a quarter change. That's good news, Doug. Maybe that's what people, when they have older relatives, they need to take their driving privileges away. Take them to Philadelphia and let them get carjacked. 60-gallon tank. Oh, this is not even ringing. Let's see. Let me hang up on this. I have no idea who that is. We'll let it go because my home number, nobody has it. My two big tanks, I have a 55 and a 60. It's actually a 65. 65. Maggie's in her kennel. Not David Childress. Someone by the name of Crane. Calling from Missouri. So there you go. And yeah, good times. Yeah, you got to love people. And right now, I think they're calling around. We have our primary elections here coming up in a couple of weeks. And I will tell you, I am getting more mail. And a lot of it's in local races. So it's not like none of the real big races. We have an open Senate seat and we have an open congressional seat here. And let me just tell you, we're getting nailed like there's no tomorrow. So there you go. And I have a quick question. Yeah, it's yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. I have no idea at all. Now that's somebody driving by my home. And yeah, life's good. Life's good. Day 6 of the heat wave here, 98 or more. It's going to be 103 here today. Trying to work fish, partially caught up. Yeah, it's I'm gonna tell you, you know, normally here, the real hot stuff does not kick in till right about now. My f- I've been here. This is my fourth summer living in Joplin, Mo, and way to go, Jim! Excellent. And I went in. Speaking of the wonders of of going through, we did not have a real wet June. Joplin Mo is part of Tornado Alley. Unlike places like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee, they those areas have two tornado seasons, fall and spring, just depending where you are in those states. We have just a spring, and it starts April 1st and it's done usually by the end of June. This year we got like two or three thunderstorm warnings, no tornadoes, no real stuff. It was very wet and cool in May. So when I wanted to set up my outdoor tubbing, there were days in May where it was getting down to about 40 in the lower 40s. Well, I couldn't do it then. And then, right after Labor Day or Memorial Day, right around Memorial Day, it all of a sudden got real hot and dry. And so I was just going, yeah, not really what I wanted. My favorite times of the year, by the way, are spring and fall. I love them. I don't mind summer. I like summer. It's just too damn long. I like the nice long fall, nice long spring. And last couple of years, our falls have been pretty good, pretty nice falls, but very short this year. Okay, so in North Dakota, there your summer tornadoes. We had actually more tornadoes last fall. We didn't have that many. We had like two or three tornado warnings, and it was no big deal. One of the reasons why I think it's so hot and dry, and again, I'm no meteorologist. I just study this, is that since there have been no real good tropical storms in the Gulf of Mexico, there's nothing pulling cool air from Canada down south. And that's really important to have. And there's nothing happening in the Gulf of Mexico. We're about halfway through, hurricane season, and I don't think there's anything going on. And which is just bizarre. It just bizarre all the way around. So that's sort of the deal. One of the things I've been noticing, um, when you deal with the weather type stuff, um, it was so moist in the spring here. No severe weather, moist. It took forever for the farmers to get their crops in. Forever. And some of them did not get their crops in until around Memorial Day. And but the ground was just drying out. Everything grew real fast, and now we have had In the last 4 weeks, we've had a little bit of rain, but not much. We had one day where we had kind of a nice soaker for about half the day. It was amazing. Then we've had a couple of, not even pop-up thunderstorms, just little wispy things. It was mainly just to whet your appetite. Yeah. And by the way, the whole thing about the fish room and doing your stuff in the fish room, it's all about, for me, and how it works for me. And Doug, and the rest of you guys, you may have the same thing. For me, it's all about having it on my schedule. If I have it on my schedule, I make it go through there. No rain there for the past 5. My lawn, by the way, if it wasn't for a bunch, well, I have a tree in the backyard, not one of the trees I'm trying to execute. And all of a sudden the leaves started to brown up, which is done the last couple of times towards the end of August. And I put probably about 7 gallons of dirty fish water on it this morning. So I'm all in on that. That tree should be pretty happy. Pretty happy. My home, by the way, was built with a tornado shelter. It's and it's big enough for I can actually put Maggie's kennel in there with me, and with a chair and the whole bit. It's my master closet. Bottle that water, so it is a cure for monkeypox. By the way, the whole monkeypox thing. It's when you get down to having romance with someone that you're not in a monogamous relationship with, someone you met maybe at a truck stop, or the club, wherever you meet your wacky dates. Yeah, you may want to get a good look at them before you lay with them. It's apparently a prolonged skin on skin contact. So, and now the United Nations, the World Health Organization, is labeling monkeypox as a disease warning or whatever they say. So there you go. Nice. Nice times. So that's the thing about monkeypox. Fatherless bipeds in desperate Congress. And we have a lot of stuff going on in the world, everybody. We're on the way to war. Nice. They're expecting us to have problems. Has anybody had a rolling blackout where they're at? Featherless bipeds. Okay, very good. Yeah, so monkeypox. I like saying it. I think it's funny to say. Now, I do have a question. How about that, Josh Hawley? It's we don't get into politics here, Jim. It's we don't get into, but he's a lawyer. He's a senator from Missouri. We go in and you go through and deal with some of the stuff that now a quick question. Have any of you had a rolling blackout? I keep hearing, I've read news stories all over the place that rolling blackouts are on the way. or brownouts or temporary power outages, whatever they're calling them. Have any of you had one yet? We gladly talk about aliens, but no politicians. No blackouts here. Yeah. Yeah, they've been threatening it this year, and mainly there's a real issue on, especially in Nevada, Arizona, into California. Lake Mead, which is what the Hoover Dam props up, they've had a really big drought out west, Colorado, Nevada. And usually, if you don't get Texas as well, depending on where you are in Texas, there are areas of Texas that have that get a reasonable amount of rain. Like Houston, they get that ocean type stuff. This time of year, if you're in West Texas through like San Antonio, you're not getting any rain. You're not going to see rain until October. Just not. Dallas traditionally you get a thunderstorm. Austin you do as well. Austin's is more like Dallas than it is San Antonio. San Antonio is really into sort of like the desert climate there. Yeah, but rolling blackouts, they say it's on the way. Amarillo is, but you're in a part of Texas, Jim, that northern part of Texas, you get thunderstorms and you get stuff like that pretty much anytime, this time of year. So it's not as dry as El Paso or any of the Big Bend area of Texas. That any of the southwest portion of Texas is dry as a bone. In San Antonio, how it works. Again, we talk fish here, gang, but occasionally we talk about the weather and talk about climates of states. So there you go. They almost get in San Antonio a monsoon style season. And yeah, absolutely. In the Panhandle, serious tornado stuff. I have a fly around here. I hate that. Hate those damn flies. It's 93 here, by the way, 93 degrees in beautiful Joplin mode. But yeah, you're in San Antonio all through June. They get like monsoons where it's beautiful and nice out, and all of a sudden, it's not even really a thunderstorm warning. I think I lived in San Antonio for 5 years. I think one tornado warning in the San Antonio area the entire time. And the CIA. Want to know more about what's it like to have all these fish aquariums? That's what they want to know. Yeah, 77. I'd take that. It's that was my brother. My anytime I get a text, it shows up on my computer because I have Google Voice, and that's how I get make my calls, how I do everything. It's really, really slick. So yeah, so in San Antonio they get like monsoons. They'll get, I mean, it's a gully washer, seeming like 2-3 inches of rain in about an half hour, 45 minutes. Then it's done, over with. And but yeah, once they get to this time of year, good luck in San Antonio seeing rain till later in the fall. Very much a desert climate. If I hit that 790 million dollar, uh, a $790 million Mega Millions on Tuesday. Uh, where I would be wanting to live in the biggest way is the hill country near Fredericksburg, sort of between Fredericksburg and San Antonio. Absolutely some of the most beautiful places in the country. And you don't have to put up, well, would I put it on the same level as like Big Sur, California? Monterey? Maybe not. Maybe not that beautiful, but you don't have to pay the taxes. Yeah, not far from Kerrville. Not far from Kerrville, Jim. Yeah, Fredericksburg, Kerrville. This is just outside of San Antonio, Bernie. It's absolutely gorgeous. I would live there. I would buy myself a ranch and set up, a giant fish room with automatic water changes. Would do that from there. Oh, that's from where Kinky Friedman is from? Yeah, I don't blame him. Beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. I would go also, Monterey, California is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's so expensive, but I guess if you have, the cash thing is what, $375 million. Maybe you can sit there and say, yeah, I can afford those taxes, but I probably wouldn't move there for a couple of years so they can't do the income taxes on it. It's Missouri has some beautiful places as well around the Lake of the Ozarks and stuff like that. I just like the idea of having land. I don't really see myself as a rancher. I can see having 10, 20 head of cattle, just, a couple hundred acres, a house, fish. There you go. Wife and I were in South Dakota last month. Landscape near Deadwood is beautiful. Absolutely is. Rapid City is a gorgeous town. The look at the base there, yeah. I could be an alpaca rancher. My parents retired to Bellingham, Washington, and when alpacas were really big, there were alpaca farms everywhere. It's unbelievable. We went out for a drive. My dad drove us around the area, and you could see all the alpaca farms. It's just unbelievable. They're supposed to be amazingly stupid. Alpacas are not very smart. I have an acquaintance of mine who his wife considers herself an alpaca fan, and they have land and they have some right from there. Yeah, I like New Mexico. I love New Mexico. I love northern Arizona as well. Around Flagstaff is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I like New Mexico. I have friends of mine who live in Santa Fe or near Santa Fe. It's supposed to be absolutely, I haven't been to Santa Fe, but I've been through the northern part of New Mexico several times. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. It's the land of enchantment. The place actually is really beautiful. And I don't know if I would consider it or not. South Carolina, that near Charleston's gorgeous, but around the Greenville area, I lived there for a few years. Gorgeous. And just north of it, there's the mountains there, the Blue Ridge Mountains, just north of Greenville. And I had a buddy that I worked with who had a house on the side of a mountain. Amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. I like Savannah. I don't think I would ever live in Savannah. I like it. I love going to Savannah. I've been there several times. I love Atlanta. It's the Buckhead area is just amazing. I don't know if I would want to sit there and be stuck in that traffic. I don't think I'd want to be in the traffic in Atlanta, which is a nightmare. Um, but Atlanta's a great city. I love Atlanta. I love I love San Antonio. San Antonio's beautiful. The northern part of San Antonio, and it was really really nice. I just think if you're going to win that much money, you might as well have a ranch. You were in Buckhead one summer. Yep, it's great. Absolutely great. I enjoyed. In fact, for my first anniversary on the first marriage, we went and spent the weekend in Buckhead, and I got tickets to go see the Atlanta Braves. Unbelievable seats. They were like second row. Absolutely gorgeous. Behind home plate. Amazing. And really enjoyed. It's really bad they got rid of Turner Field, which was, in my opinion, one of the best baseball fields to watch a game in the country. Now, I'm not one of these guys who's been to a billion baseball parks. Uh, I've been to many. Yeah, lived in Carolina Beach, North Carolina for a year, right on the ocean. Yeah, my sister lived in near New Bern at Cherry Point when her husband was in the Marines, and there are areas of North Carolina that are beautiful, areas of Virginia that are beautiful. Uh, yeah, the place is really beautiful, but it's economically so destitute because of what has happened with mining over the years is West Virginia. If you've never driven through West Virginia, it is absolutely gorgeous. But that mining industry has fallen apart, and they haven't quite figured out what to do with the area. And West Virginia's other problem is they don't have a major metro area. Having a big metro area is it's an economic engine for the rest of the state. It just is. It makes all the sense in the world. And that's West Virginia's problem. Besides the death of mining, and it's South Carolina had some of that as well. It wasn't the mining industry; it was the textile industry. Really, really big there. Really, really big. And you lived in Charleston. Smelled a lot like battery acid. You see, yeah, but pretty. Get past that battery acid smell. It's amazing. Place where it's it another place that's just gorgeous, but you have to put up with a lot of snow, and I mean they get dumped on the snow, is Lake Tahoe. Whether on the Nevada side or the California side, absolutely beautiful up there. Absolutely beautiful. You like West Virginia, north of Charleston? Yeah, it's a beautiful state. It really is, but it's just you know, yeah, I like North Carolina a lot. Georgia, I have an old boss of mine that had, and I don't know if they still have this or not. They had a condo, then they built a home on Kiowa Island in Georgia, or South Carolina, Kiowa Island, South Carolina. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful on the ocean, etc. I don't know if I want to put up with the wonders of being on a place that can be wiped off the map by a good old fashioned hurricane. I want to live in a place where I don't have to worry about too much of that stuff. The California thing, yeah, you get an earthquake. Wildfires. Rains too much, you get a mudslide. It's tornadoes are actually pretty good to be around because they're sort of hit and miss. It's it's not like you get a hurricane move through. I have friends in Houston who, Houston after one of the hurricanes, what was about 10 years ago, where all of a sudden the hurricane just stopped over the thing, just started raining over and over again. I like Florida, it's just too damn hot. I like Florida. I have some friends that just got a place on the ocean. That's fantastic. I know a lot of people in Florida. Just too damn hot and humid for me. I don't mind the hot, the humidity thing. I wouldn't have a problem in New Mexico or areas in Texas. The deal here is that it's 103. And it's going from there. I prefer reptilians, Doug Gray. Real people suck. I'm sorry if you're not a reptilian. I have that much patience. You lived in Lake Worth as a child? Uh-huh. I don't have any family members in Florida at this time. I had a cousin who was in Daytona for a few years. But yeah, I've been to Florida several times. It's I just it's just not my deal. It's a little humid, etc. I've never been to Miami. I understand Miami and those condos. As long as they remain standing up, they're pretty good. They, tip over or something like that. Not so good. It's I could see having a condo in Miami. Just looking over the ocean, stuff like that. If it's a newer one, hurricane proof. You have family in Tallahassee? Yeah, I know people who've worked in Tallahassee over the years. Again, I have, no issues at all. I enjoy at least for me, if I was going to go out and write out where I wanted to be, Tallahassee, Florida is just not it for me. And I know a lot of people love it. It's not criticism of Florida or what have you. For me personally, where my parents retired in Bellingham, Washington, absolutely perfect. That, and you have to like rain for 5 months out of the year. I've not been to Spain. I kind of like the music. Your wife can't handle the humidity. Yep. I've never been to Spain. I've not been to Europe. I've done. I've been to Mexico almost all the way down to Guatemala. Very close to Guatemala. It really should have it just made the hour drive to be in it. Been to Canada several times. Toronto is a beautiful city. Vancouver, gorgeous. Would like to spend some time in Quebec. My grandparents, my mom's family, emigrated to the United States from Canada in the 1800s, for the most part, and they were relatively early in the New World. I mean, like 20 years after the Mayflower landed on Plymouth Rock. Pretty early in the New World. They were in New Brunswick and all that, Nova Scotia. And I would like to go to Montreal and Quebec City. I haven't been to those places. I've been to Toronto several times. Not several, couple of times. Vancouver once. It's I would like to see Banff. I would like to see that go through Alberta and all that sort of stuff. And I'd love to do Alaska. I've been to every state except 5. And 2 of them I should have gone to, and it would have been easy to get through. Here's what I've not been to. I've not been to Rhode Island. I was really close to Rhode Island. Probably should have just driven just to say I did it. I've not been to Vermont. Not been to Idaho, Alaska, and Oregon. Been very close to Oregon several times. My grandparents lived well in northern California in Willits for years until they got too doggone old to be living alone in the middle of, in Willits, away from family. But Willits is just, gorgeous. Been to Colorado. It's I love Colorado. Love the mountains. I used to do a lot of skiing. I haven't done a lot of skiing probably in the last about 15, 20 years. Used to go skiing a lot. Colorado's gorgeous. It's and you have to have a lot of money to live in Vail or live in Aspen or live in Breckenridge. Have you ever been to Breckenridge, anybody? The skiing in Breckenridge, it's okay. It's not my favorite skiing in Colorado, but that town is like, a German city in the Alps. Absolutely gorgeous. You could see yourself living there. You really could. But the houses are ridiculously expensive. Most of us could never even dream of living there. But gorgeous. New Hampshire's beautiful. Maine, holy capoli. By the way, if any of you have not been to Maine, do the trip. Do the trip. You get all this lobster really cheap. If you love lobster rolls, lobster any way you could ever imagine. Absolutely amazing. Portland, Maine is a funky, good-looking town. I like Maine a lot. New Hampshire's nice. Massachusetts, fine. I wouldn't live there, but it's fine. I understand Vermont is great. New Jersey is underrated depending where you are, but it's so damn expensive to live there. I lived in New Jersey and go from there. Doug, you've had pizza in 5 different states. There you go. The one thing I miss about, I worked in the New York, greater New York tri-state area for 7 years, just about. And Long Island is nice but expensive. I miss going through Manhattan, walking into a steak place, walking into a kosher place, walking into the underrated neighborhood to eat in Manhattan is Koreatown, which is on 32nd, just south of 5th, about 2 blocks down from the Empire State Building. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to silence my my speaker. I'm getting people driving by my house, and it's picking it up. You can still hear me, right? I think you can. So I absolutely love. No, that's actually cameras. That's my Ring going by. and which is terrific. I love them, by the way, that whole thing. Yep, the Village is great. I have a nephew going to med school, but he's going to med school in the Bronx right now. The Bronx is, I don't know how the neighborhoods are. It's been a while since I've been there, but I will tell you, Harlem, not bad at all. Outsiders outside of New Yorkers, they go, oh, Harlem, it's a bad place. No, not really. The real bad place to be was places of Brooklyn for a long time. That's all different now. The Bronx has always been bad. That is, you do not want to go into the Bronx if you don't know where you're going. Yeah, I need to work on that some more, Doug. And it also could be the wind is blowing a little bit, which is nice. And it may be picking up my head. South Bronx, not safe. Nope. No, it's I don't know if I've ever told this story. The company I worked for in New York had season tickets at Yankee Stadium, which is in the Bronx. And the neighborhood around that are terrible. Yep, the dryer. I was doing towels, everybody, washing towels. They're probably still a little moist. I'll probably have to turn it on again here when we wrap up. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you. Hey, what's up, Melvin? So you go in. So I was going in. It was a work day, and I was answering emails on the train from Manhattan to the Bronx, which is it's about a 30 minutes on the. If my memory is right, it's about 30 minutes on the train on the subway. So I'm doing my thing. I'm writing things back and forth. And all of a sudden I look up and I go, uh-oh. And it was a business thing. So I was in a suit and I missed the exit. And I'm getting stares. And I realize you fake it till you make it. Absolutely, Doug Ray. And so I went in. I got off about 2 more stops down. I walked out like I knew what the hell I was doing. And I was sort of hoping I could just remain underground and just go to the next thing. I had to go outside and across the street and down. I'll tell you what, I walked as confidently as any person could ever hope to walk. I was not dressed like I belonged in the neighborhood, but I had the attitude of it. And the whole thing about New Yorkers, just up front. Yep, I walked down like I owned it. Here's the deal about New Yorkers, is that a lot of times people go, well, aren't they rude? No, they're not. They're direct. There's a difference between direct and rude. Direct is they're just going to tell you what's on their mind. And they would help you. I will tell you, if you get lost in Manhattan or something like that, and you're looking for something, you can't find it, you say to a New Yorker, hey, I'm looking for this. I thought it was at this corner. Where do you know where this is? They will likely walk you there. They're much friendlier than people think. Just really, really direct. In the Midwest, where I'm at, people don't like to tell you no. So you can ask a question, and it could be at a business, it could be at the office, it could be wherever. And they'll go, oh, let me find out. And you'll never talk to them again about it because the answer is no. Instead of just saying no, which is fine. Doug Gray, is that true? Yeah, Philly. By the way, I love Philly. You know what I love Philly about best is that you can go get yourself a cheesesteak about 12:30, and there's a shooting in line, and makes the cheesesteak experience much more familiar as the ATMs are blowing up and as the everything's going wrong. Life's good. So at just about 1 o'clock my time, it is 94 degrees in beautiful Joplin, Mo. I have not been to, I've driven by Baltimore. I've done that 95 down where you're sort of skirting Baltimore and stuff like that. I've never been inside Baltimore. Yeah, Philly's gotten first as far as safety sucks because it didn't need to change like that. Yeah, again, here's as far as we go in talking politics here. The first job of any governmental entity is that's why I understand. I have not been to Camden Yards Gym, and I understand it's great. Uh, it's when my nephews were young kids. I was hoping to take them to Camden Yards to go see a game. It just never worked out, and they lived not that far away from there. They lived in Annapolis, Maryland, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out. I love me. Uh, yeah, Camden Yards. New, it's it's the story about Baltimore is that it used to be this amazingly beautiful city and has fallen by the wayside, which is sad. Very sad all the way around. And the first job of any government, whatever it is to keep people safe. Make sure the streets are safe, make sure the stuff's going through here. We had a deal here where 3 cops were shot in about a 15-minute period by the same guy. And the guy was homeless, a felon who illegally got a gun. And yeah, not good. Not good at all. The best parks I've ever been to, by the way, to watch a baseball game. I've not been to the new Twins Park. I hear it's amazing. Mine are these. The new Yankee Stadium is a frickin' baseball shrine. It is not the best baseball stadium I've ever been because it's not very intimate, but it is a shrine to the game. They are paying attention to the history of the team. There's really very few bad seats in the house. It's amazing. AT&T Park in San Francisco. Gorgeous. I've not been to Fenway. I've not been to the new Comiskey. I've not been to Wrigley. In one of the older stadiums for the Brewers I was at, the worst baseball stadium in America. This is true 20 years ago as it was 40 years ago, and probably 60 years ago, is where the Oakland A's play. It's a football stadium. It is set up that especially in San Francisco, because you get the wind off the ocean, off the bay, it can actually get, feel pretty cold. It'll be in the 50s. It is the worst baseball experience I have ever been to. When I worked in Northern California the second time, the company I worked for had a relationship with the A's, And I could technically go to any game I wanted to. In fact, the ex-wife and I would take the train, the BART from Fremont, where we were living, up to you know, up to Oakland, go into that thing. It was just gorgeous. Bloodlines Aqua Legacy Strikes Back. Next thing. All right, gang. Thank you so much. And we barely talked about fish. I apologize. We appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. We'll be back next week. Have a great week and be cool and be safe. And God bless America. God help us.